at 190 now. And so once he's there, we can start on this plot right behind us.
And what is it that you're trying to do with this chemical-free alternative?
So this is chemical-free. As you can see, there is a foam, but the foaming agent is completely all natural. It's made out of things like coconut oil, vegetable oil, corn, you know, all natural.
Sugars.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then other than that, it's just hot water running at about 190 to 200 degrees. That temperature, once it hits the root crown of the plant species, it is able to exhaust that root system and hopefully kill that plant systemically. We are trying to figure out which types of species are going to need several treatments as opposed to a very quick treatment. Something like garlic mustard or moss, really small sap seedlings, should be able to be wiped out in one pass. Something like English ivy might take a few repeated treatments, probably about 3 to 4 within a year, that first year. So I believe we're ready to go. We're at 190 now. So Grant is going to start going, and you'll see that it is a little bit slow going. You have to take your time, but you can imagine how much quicker it will be as the vegetation does start to die back and you're losing your percent coverage. So I'm just going to move out of the way here.
Okay. All right, we'll turn the video back on once he starts treatment. Go.
Great, so with the PPE for something like this is pretty basic. You really just have to worry about the temperature of your actual hose, the fittings, and the lamps, and the actual hot water. But if that hot water were to touch you from only a couple inches away, it shouldn't burn you. So what Grant has on is appropriate. We have close-fit shoes, pants, long sleeves, work gloves, and he does have eye protection on. Eye protection is not a necessity. It is just suggested, as with most of these. If you were to get that hose against your leg, it wouldn't burn you right away. It would just be like, ooh, I need to move that hose off my leg. So it's not super worrisome with the danger aspects of using PPEs and the actual equipment.
So we will look at the foam treatment now a little bit closer. Again, coating all of the plants, not coating it, but getting it so that you're burning all of the plants with this foam. Again, an all-natural thing. The foam is not anything that's going to harm anything else. But it does show you what areas you've hit and what areas you have not hit. And again, this is great for, this is again another 10 by 10 foot plot. And we're treating a bunch of different kinds of things. Right now, he's dealing with Italian arum, for example, which is difficult to control otherwise. And we'll sort of see how effective this process is. This is an alternative to herbicides, knowing herbicides are very effective used properly in this, but we're part of an IPM type of treatment where it's integrated pest management. We look for all different things that we can use, whether it's mechanical, pulling or whatever, herbicidal, and in this case, we're also looking at alternatives to this. So it's good to know that we may have some other alternatives when we do these kinds of process. They are also coming up with a new machine that does not use the foam. That will be even cheaper to use, they hope. But that's still not, they've ordered this, but it's still not ready to go. Again, this is IPC, Invasive Pest Control Company, who is the contractors here with Arlington, and we're testing alternative non-chemical treatments for a variety of different things. We did flamethrowers at first. Now we are using at steam and foaming. This is a little bit slower, obviously, than the flamethrower is. This, they say, you could even do in the rain, and they tested it. They did it yesterday. This is an overcast day that we're doing. And you can sort of see how it's all applied. So we will see how effective it is on a variety of different species. They suspect, again, like what they're going through right now, English ivy may not work very well, or may take multiple treatments. But there's one way to find out, and that's by experimenting. Again, we picked basically monocultures. There's very little non-targets in here as far as native plants. We picked that on purpose, so even if we make a mistake, those would be some acceptable losses. And frankly, there is, of course, stuff in the seed bank, and we hope that without this competition, some of the stuff in the seed bank will come back over and make a true restoration of things that used to be here. Very interesting. It's basically burning. All right, I'll cut the video now, but you think you got an idea of how it is. He'll finish this 10 by 10 foot plot, which of course, as you can see, is marked by flags. And we've got a list of what invasives were in here. I mentioned, English ivy, Italian arum, there's garlic mustard, there's lots of these other things, and we will see how effective this is on those different species.